What is up, you guys? This is your boy Andy Matrix. I talk about anime, manga, video games, geek culture, and Japanese culture. Today we are gonna talk about once again the decline of the comic book industry and how they are selling themselves on a street corner. Oh boy, but before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, like the video. I'm on a journey to get 1,000 subscribers, and I very much appreciate your help. Now, I'm here at GamesRadar.com. GamesRadar.com. And it says that IDW moves comic book store distribution to Penguin Random House. So IDW, you know, they made some moves. They've lost money. And actually, where is it? During 2021, IDW loses $500,000, and although that might not sound like a lot of money for a company, it is, because you have to keep in mind the kind of revenue that comic book companies actually make. For example, like the revenue that IDW make was 5.9 million, basically $6 million. Now that sounds like the average revenue that a Hollywood celebrity would have, like the income level, the net worth. And for a company, that's actually not a lot of money. Okay. Now other companies will be making, like, let's say like a tech company will make like hundreds of millions of dollars, maybe billions of dollars. But a comic book company it's only in the millions, right? You never see them, like, I've yet to see like a comic book company that makes hundreds of millions of dollars. You know, it's not like you know, publishers, like, you know, companies that publish novels that are in the hundreds of millions. You know, comic books are different, right? So IDW has lost money, and they've left behind Diamond, which is a comic book distributor. Yeah, so comic book companies, they actually don't distribute their own comic books. They have somebody else do it for them, and I guess they have some trouble with Diamond, right? You can find out more about this with Clownfish TV. They're better at explaining that. But what I'm trying to say here is that comic book companies are really just selling out. They're cashing out. They're selling themselves, right? So at the Hollywood Reporter, you have Dark Horse Comics, sold to gaming giant Embracer Group. And this is actually, I believe this is a Nordic gaming company, right? So the indie publisher is home to Hellboy and the Umbrella Academy. Since Dark Horse Comics properties such as Hellboy and Umbrella Academia are finding a new home, the indie comics publisher has agreed to be sold to Embracer Group, a Swedish video game conglomerate, right? So it's a Swedish company, a Swedish gaming company. Now, why would a gaming company be interested in owning a comic book? I don't know. I mean, it just seems like maybe they just have, like, you know, more outlets, you know, more ways of more cash flows, really. So maybe they can do something different with Dark Horse. Who knows? You know, if people actually have a vision. And that's Dark Horse. And it's funny. It's very, very funny because Dark Horse has published some of my favorite comic books, like the Avatar: The Last Airbender comic books, Legend of Korra, Lone Wolf and Cub, published by Dark Horse. Oh my goodness. They've had some really, really, really good titles. And it's just surprising to me that they were not able to survive and they have to, you know, unite with another company. And when I say unite, I mean they sell themselves to another company. So they sell themselves in a street corner. Okay. I'll stop being an asshole. Marvel. When Disney bought Marvel Entertainment, they also bought Marvel comic books. Yes, that is a fact, and I'll show it to you right here. Okay. After the success of Iron Man in 2008, the Walt Disney Company acquired Marvel Entertainment in 2009, which included with it the ownership of Marvel Comics. So there you go. Right? Marvel Comics, owned by Disney. DC Comics is owned by Warner. Okay, and the thing about DC Comics, I mean, you've seen the kind of books they've been releasing in the last year. I'm Not Starfire. You know, the whole, you know, the Teenage Batman release. You know, the Teenage Batman comic books where they're like freaking social media addicts and stuff. Basically trying to appeal to the young audience. You know, trying to be woke and all that stuff. Down the drain. I mean, they've gone just down the drain. DC made a deal with Webtoons, right? Which I don't know how they're gonna make money off of that, because Webtoons, you read Webtoons for free. Okay, you read for free on Webtoons, right? So it's like once people get used to reading for free, they don't really want to pay for anything. You know, so how are they gonna make money? Right? And then the only thing that seems to be working is crowdfunding, which Keanu Reeves in a group of comic book artists, they actually made a comic book called Berserker, and it was really cool. It was really successful. Made millions. I think like 1.4 million. Right? It was really successful. But the idea behind this comic book is that Keanu Reeves would be the main character, as you see here. Keanu Reeves would be the main character, and then they would adapt it. They would adapt it to a live-action movie. And Netflix actually picked it up, so it's actually going to become a live-action movie. So it seems to me like a lot of comic books are just being used for content, right? For Hollywood to make movies, so the Hollywood can have more movie ideas, right? And Berserker is a really great example. So now a lot of comic book companies like Boom, they're crowdfunding. Like I think it was a Spawn during the summer of 2021 was actually crowdfunded, very successful, 500,000. You know, Power Rangers, another Power Rangers comic book was also crowdfunded. So it seems to me like if you want to be successful with comic books, you gotta get away. Like, I remember when I was in high school, man. I was like, one day I'm gonna make comic books, and maybe I'll work for some of these companies. Thank God I never got into that career. Thank God, because look at it now. I would have been broke. I would have probably been either homeless or like, I probably ended up homeless or working at McDonald's or some bullshit ass company, right? So thank God that I got out of it. Another thing that I wanted to show you guys was new department here. Okay. Yes, so another thing that I want to show, like a lot of comic book artists such as James Tynion, they actually left. He left DC Comics so that he can publish comic book to Substack. And Substack is basically like a kind of like a newsletter subscription type of service, where like they promote your service or product in a newsletter, right? So Substack, that's what they're doing, right? And you know, a lot of people are leaving the comic book industry. They're leaving DC Comics, Marvel Comics. I mean, not so much the other comic book companies like Dark Horse. The other comic book companies like Dark Horse, the problem is it's just hard to make money. Making money with comic books is difficult, guys. So that is why the comic book industry in the West, in America, Canada, UK, they're selling out. They're cashing out. It's hard to make money. And the days where you could like work for a comic book company and be able to pay the bills, right, are over. The best way really is just to make your own comic books, self-publish your own comic books, with Amazon or whatever other publisher, and crowdfund your comic books now, right? And honestly, manga is the only sustainable comic book style business out there that actually exists. And that sounds like an exaggeration, but it's true. It's hard to make money with this stuff. It really is. You know, a lot of comic book artists, you know, and when I was in college, you know, I had, I actually met people, you know, comic book artists working in the industry, and they said, hey man, I haven't had health insurance for a long time. It's really hard. And this is their way of surviving. So you know what that means? If you want to be a comic book artist, it's much better and much more profitable to be a manga artist. That is it for this video, guys. Comment below and tell me what you think about the comic book industry basically cashing out and selling themselves on the street corner. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. This is Andy Matrix. I'll see you in the next video. Godspeed.